Hello there guys, LazyBeast here, with a video about the good and the bad things about patch 9.2. So as we know, 9.2 is well into development now, so let's take a look at what's coming and discuss the good and bad things about the patch. Just remember that anything that we do discuss here might change before the patch goes live. So you'll probably be pleased to hear that most of the things coming in the patch are pretty good, there's only a few bad things, so let's start with the good things because yay, positive vibes. Alright, so first thing that's good. This is the last patch of the Shadowlands expansion. We can wrap this silly story up and start laying the foundations of something new, hopefully the Dragon Isles. So we'll probably get to defeat the final boss of the Shadowlands, Bobby Kotick, the jailer, and then finally see where the story takes us next in World of Warcraft. So there's going to be lots of juicy story things coming up, and with this, obviously accompanying it is a new raid. That's the second good thing about the patch, we get a new raid. Now getting a new raid is usually always a good thing. There's definitely some interesting new items coming from it, and it's looking like it's shaping up to be quite a cool raid overall. Along with this raid becomes the glorious return of tier sets. Now, these will of course drop from the new raid, but you can also get them from any of the 9 slots in your weekly vault, meaning that if you just play Mythic Plus and don't raid, or if you only PvP, you'll still get a chance to get a tier piece each week from your weekly vault. Now, I've seen some PvPers discussing whether the tier sets are going to actually be worth using in Arena, and some of them will and some of them won't be, so this may or may not matter to you in the slightest. But at least having the option there is a good thing. So you could get a tier piece, or you could get your 16th pair of braces or your 49th ring. Just good luck. So with the patch comes a new zone called Zereth Mortis with water that you can walk on. And jokes aside, it is actually quite a cool zone to be fair. It looks really cool, it's interesting to be in. Yeah, I kind of like Zereth Mortis, which is a good thing because we are going to be spending quite some time here. So you'll be able to unlock flying in this zone, and it's recently been made a lot shorter of a task to complete. You may have seen people saying that, it was a ridiculous 28-day grind. That is no longer the case. You now just need to complete a meta achievement, which is simply just to complete 1000 dailies and complete all of the pet battle achievements in Zereth Mortis. I'm just joking. It's quite a simple, straightforward achievement to complete and should take about a couple of weeks to do. It just requires you to do a certain few activities in the zone. For those Mythic Pluses out there, there's a brand new affix to play around with. So it's a big penalty, this one. What happens is whenever you die to a boss in a Mythic Plus dungeon, your subscription cost is increased by 20% every time you die. So this is capped at your monthly income, so it's not that bad. And again, I'm just joking. Alright, so what this affix actually is, it's called Encrypted, and what it does is, it adds 3 relics to some mob packs throughout the dungeons, which you can choose one of to give your group a certain buff. So what you have to do is kill the relics. They start off as hostile to you. Now depending on which one you kill first, you receive a specific buff, either stealth and a big boost to movement speed, a big increase to your haste, acting like a bloodlust, or increased cooldown rate. So what happens with this is the one that you kill first determines the mob that will spawn when all of the other relics are killed. So there's 3 in total, you kill one first, that determines what mob will spawn. When you've killed the other 2, the mob will spawn. And then when you kill that mob, that will give you the buff. And the buff is dependent on the relic that you killed first. It sounds very complicated, but it's not that bad. Now this is nice because it's something new to play around with, but realistically there'll be a meta way to do it, as there always is, unless they change around in each run and they appear in different places for example, but this is likely going to just boil down to what the meta becomes. So we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Another good thing, those pesky Covenant conduits now drop from their related Mythic Plus dungeons, so you can now easily target them when trying to upgrade the eye level of those specific conduits. And another good one of course is that you'll be able to equip 2 legendaries. There's a new legendary belt that's going to be available after completing chapter 7 of the new campaign quest in 9.2, which will let you use your Covenant's legendary power as well as any other legendary of your choosing. I will do a separate video on how to get this and how to upgrade legendaries in 9.2, so subscribe and stick around for that if that's something that you think you might benefit from. Now I have a niggle with this, and something that really annoyed me when they first announced this. Why couldn't they just let us use 2 legendaries of our choice? Why do they have to make us use our Covenant's legendary power? Now, ever since the start of Shadowlands with the legendaries, I had in my mind Legion legendaries, or legendaries. And with those, eventually, towards the end of the expansion, you could choose 2 legendaries to use, so you could make some nice cool combos. And I understand that obviously this is probably a balancing nightmare, which is probably why they've not let us do it that way this time, and it does make sense thematically with the Covenants and stuff, but still, it kind of annoyed me that they didn't just let us use any and give us the freedom, but never mind. Okay, another good thing before we get into the bad stuff for anybody returning. Now currently you do not need to have completed the Korthia campaign or your Covenant campaign to be able to start the Zereth Mortis campaign. So you should be able to just go straight to Zereth Mortis when you log in. But this could just be a PTR thing to allow people to jump in and test Zereth Mortis quicker. So bear that in mind. Hopefully it stays this way so that if you do come back for 9.2 you can just get straight into the new content. Alright, the bad things. The first one, you still need to do Torghast to upgrade your legendaries. Kind of. So Cosmic Flux is the new material that you'll need to upgrade your legendaries through to rank 7. That's right, there's only one more rank up needed, so no crazy grinds, it's not too bad. And basically to get from rank 6 to 7 you need 2000 Cosmic Flux, that's it, no other materials. So you can buy this off the in-game store for $49.99 per 1000 Cosmic Flux, and that's another stupid joke. So being serious, it seems the best way currently to get this is from Torghast because that's where you'll get the most per, time spent doing the activity. You'll need to do layer 13 or higher to get Cosmic Flux to drop from Torghast. But there is some good news here too. You can farm this up by doing other activities, as it pretty much drops from everything else in the patch, such as most activities in Zereth Mortis, that being treasures, rare mobs, dailies, the weekly quest, and also it drops from Mythic Plus and rated arenas as well, so you could do those instead if you didn't want to touch Torghast. It just might take you a bit longer to get the 2000 needed. It looks like you can also craft the tier set pieces, and that's apparently going to also cost Cosmic Flux. You're going to need that to do so, but we can't actually test that currently on the PTR, so there's more to that. So you are going to need some Cosmic Flux to get your legendary from rank 6 to 7. Obviously if you're using quite a few legendaries you're going to need multiple amounts of this, and you're also going to need some if you plan on crafting any tier set pieces, so you're going to need a lot of this resource. Another potential negative, there's been quite a lot of buffs and nerfs to some of the Covenant stuff and some of the classes, so check those out specifically for your class. It could be a good or bad thing depending on if you've been buffed or nerfed. And you know what, there's not actually that many more negatives for this patch, to be fair. When I first set out to make this video and write this script, I thought there was going to be a lot more. But something strange has occurred. They actually seem to be listening this time, so people complained about the unlocking the double legendaries was going to take too long, that unlocking flying was going to take too long, and they've actually made those things a lot better. So fingers crossed guys, they appear to be listening for a change. So yeah, this is it. This is patch 9.2, and we're obviously going to have this patch for quite a while because it's been made apparent this is going to be the last patch of Shadowlands. We will probably get a 9.2.5, I would imagine, which will have the pre-patch stuff in it as well, I'm assuming, and maybe some more little bits, maybe some catch-up things and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, let's just hope it's a good patch and that we have fun, and that it sets the way for the next expansion in a nice way. That's all for this video guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been LazyBeast, and I will catch you next time. Cheers.